is Alicia Lee, and she's actually a student in our Community Music Academy, and she is going to play Bach's Partita No. 2 in D minor, two different movements, so don't clap in between them. One is called a saraband and one is a jig.
details. I think the highlight of this performance, for me, there was like a section in the last movement of this that you changed the sounding point of your bow. It was somewhere towards the second half. Do you know where that is? Because you were doing it very intentionally.
Maybe it was like between the forte piano part.
Yeah, can you play the second half one more time? We can just listen to it. Yeah, okay. I think it was right there. What I really liked about it is that like there seemed to be like real intention for you to like start realizing a shift in the harmony and maybe like a shift in like the character of the piece. And it was very intentional, like how you sort of ended up sort of working your bow so that you could create that sort of sense of difference. So can you like explain to us like what exactly were you doing there? And did you like actually know like you were intentionally doing that? Is something your teacher told you about, or is it something that like it's just instinct for you?
Well, we were working through the phrases, my teacher and me, and this was like the end of a phrase, so we were sort of being a little bit quieter.
Yeah, absolutely. And what I really think the quiet means is that it has like so many dimensions to that. There's like a transition into quietness that in some ways is the most important aspect of control that you can have. So something like that, felt like there was an idea there. And all of this music in particular with Bach is about how you get from one chord or one note to the next. And really it all comes from like the bow and how you're sort of intentionally using like several factors like what you just did there with like the sounding point. But also like the speed of the bow and where you are in the bow as well, but whether it be close to the tip versus the frog. So can we just like hear that one more time? So we're gonna go ba ba da ba ba da ba ba ya da 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 ya ba ya da 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 da. You'll notice that she ends. Let's just end right on there. Okay, go ahead. Yeah, okay. So when we go from here, ya da 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 da, let's take advantage of the weight or the lack of weight towards the tip of the bow. So we're going ya da 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 da. You're changing not only sort of the amount of speed that you have for some of those bows, but also perhaps a certain degree of sounding point afterwards. So let's just do that slow. Ya da 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 da, and then just hang out at the tip. Go ahead. Yeah, all the way. Can you like end like right at the tip of the bow? There you go. Yeah, and you hear that sort of like little nice sort of tail off of the sound. It has like a nice air to that, okay? So now let's end up at the tip of the bow and just change the string at which you're playing and just hang out. Da, 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 da. Okay. Let's go from here. Ya, da, da, da. Yeah, the amazing thing about this is because you're already hanging out at the tip of the bow, just move your elbow and then just keep on going afterwards. Okay, let's try it again. Yeah. Now, can you also, when you get to the tip, ya da 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 da, and you do that string crossing, see if you can also sort of move the bow like you were doing a little bit closer on top of the fingerboard so that we get even more of dynamic contrast. Can you play even more? Ya da 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 da. Yeah. Okay. Now putting that all together, can we try that in tempo? So can we be a little bit more extroverted and maybe a little bit more impassioned? Da da ya ba da da ba ya da 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 da. In fact, I think that like a lot of sort of the piece sort of has this gravity towards the A on the G string, because I don't think there's actually until you get to the pedal tones at 35 that you actually have an open G string. So I feel like the A is like an open G. Can you play a G, just a very present open G sound? Now play an A. Do.
On the G string?
On G string, yeah. Yeah. Try to create the same degree of like openness and resonance with those two notes. Can you play the open G again? Okay, now. Okay. Nice. Go. And then you can crescendo from there. Yeah, now we're sort of like hearing a little bit more dimension to your sound. And interestingly, like sometimes pianos are only going to be heard if everything that precedes it has a little bit more extroversion or brilliance to it. And there are like so many ways to define it. But I encourage you that like even though there isn't any like Bach doesn't have too many markings in a lot of the work that he has, so it's really up to us to be able to sort of just create whatever that sound space is. And realize that you're also like a solo violinist who's sort of playing out to like, you know, a big environment. Bach composed for the church a lot, so he probably had a lot of like high ceiling cathedrals in mind, very much like you are the organ all of a sudden. So keep that in mind as you play. Can we try it one more time? Can we just hear the first 6, 7 notes? Ba ba da ba ba da ba ba. Just that. Yeah. Try using a little bit more bow speed. Da ba da ba ba da ba ba. Yeah. Okay. Now keep everything up. Can we play ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, like just very turbulent and just like very impassioned? Go ahead. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, yeah. So all of a sudden, I feel like there's not only a dynamic contrast, but you're also accentuating the character contrast as well. So it's interesting when we think about like any type of like music that we're playing, like all of it is stemming from the bow, but you can think about it from a volume perspective, but it's also enhanced by emotions and like where you feel something is going. And then direction is also a really big aspect to that. So why don't we go from this part and then let's see what you do with this crescendo. Okay, so big sound. At least in bar 25, this is forte. Can you just start that? Ya da 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 da, ya da 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 da. Go ahead. Okay. And then we have a piano, which is actually probably the only dynamic marking we see in this that's written by Bach. Can you try that? Good. And then there's a forte that happens afterwards at 27. So that's the outline in terms of the volume and dynamic. 5 minutes? Okay, great. So I'm wondering, can we like use our imaginations and like think about what are we trying to accomplish character-wise?
Like very outgoing, like lively.
Yeah, yeah, I love that. Can you do something with the bow that sort of creates that? Let's slow it down for the sake of like trying to get, ooh, that was scary, sort of the nature of like just what bow stroke you want. Because sometimes like when we're going sort of at the full pace like that, it can be sort of difficult to sort of control what you actually want your bow to do. And that's sort of like the value of slow practice. In the end, we think about slow practice as like just a way to sort of like get your notes executed in the right order and perhaps in the right intonation, but there is an aspect of slow practice which is just giving you space to promote as much character as possible. So we like take it like about that speed, and just see if you can really send that to the projector back there. So to my mind, it's you're driving the car at a nice, like, I would say, I don't know, 40 miles an hour. We need to sort of get up to 60. Like, this is sort of, we sort of want the boat to go a little bit faster. Can we try it again? And see if you can just keep the bow moving more so than even adding weight. Yes, that's great. Okay, now can we try that a little bit faster? Like, you got it for the first 6 notes, but let's see what we can do. Can we try just the first 6 of each? Just that? The next one? Yeah, so that one feels like less. So we go. It's almost like we want a little bit more on the second one. Okay, so can we go from there one more time? Go ahead. So that's really interesting, right? So we have this sort of extroverted. What about this one at 27? What's the difference between this one, outgoing? What do you feel 27 is all about in terms of character?
I feel like it's a more serious kind of heavy.
Yeah. So I think that another thing that we should probably try to do in terms of really establishing that, so we're going from like maybe we can give it a little bit of space so it's almost like a big like stomp. Yeah? Let's go from maybe the piano. Just stop there. Yeah, exactly. So really, like, set yourself, set the bow. You see, you can get like a really big catch with your string and just. Yeah, there you go. Now play from here. Go ahead. So I see that you have like sort of this deep crescendo here, and we have this like sort of little arc, serious, and then can we try to bring that up? Can we go from 27? Go ahead. In a lot of this. One of my favorite parts is when we get to 35, like we have We have these like huge tremulous. Can you just play that for people so they really get a sense? Right there. Okay. Now, can we really go for that all the way to the very end? So let's go from maybe right here. Very nice. Oh, thanks.
So, for our next performer, we have Samuel Gaitan, and he's a senior violin performance and music education major. He'll be accompanied by Dr. Jimmy Chung, another one of our piano faculty, and Samuel will be playing Symphony Espagnole by Edward Lalo, the first movement.
pieces I think that like brings out a lot of great aspects of your character. One of my favorite parts that you did this time, can you maybe go from here? This is a bit after I. Right there. Almost relentless pace, and you have such a really great silent vibrato to really get up there. It felt lyrical and at the same time present, but not to a point where it felt overly insistent and harsh at the same time. So I really like that sound that you're getting there. Some of these melodies were really beautiful. So I feel like you have a really great relationship with the piece already, and what I'd love to have you continue to explore is sort of almost like a laissez-faire attitude towards like the bow. Like you see like someone like Oistrakh play this, and he's just like this bigger, just plowing away sort of deal. Like I feel like you have some really great nuance in your playing, and at the same time, like there's almost like a little bit of a heroic bravado. I don't care about anyone else sort of deal that can border on insensitivity, but actually, ironically, like allows you to like do those second themes with a little bit more tenderness as well. And the reason why I'm saying that is that not every piece sort of requires that, but this piece is like rife with all these like declarations, right? Fortissimos, yeah, so many fortissimos, and then like it's really weird because like he has like this section. Let's see, where is it? Actually, so at the very beginning. Can you play maybe from here? It's largamente fortissimo, and then you have to crescendo with this. And that is forte espressivo. That's the D crescendo. Yeah. Can we go from maybe, yeah, right there, dum, bum, bum. So we need to find some way to, if the volume is all going to be the same, which is of course like just really hard in this sort of context, we need to think of like just different ways that we can articulate and really bring some character. Is it possible to like really, like just as I said, just be as brash as possible? Can you just be almost as ugly? Just like, go ahead. It's so interesting. Like that was great, by the way. Like I felt the energy right there, and then like he has a lot of like sort of articulation. So we're going from these are all Like I wonder like if you really want to like go for that. And then we have this like a decrescendo there. And then we have, so that I feel like if you can really sustain as best as possible, then like that might feel like you're still present. Yeah, let's try it one more time. So we have largamente, we have some dots, we have this little, I love that, sort of like the car goes by sort of deal. Can we try that? Here, like we have to sort of scaffold some direction there, so we're going. And then we have some room to grow. Yeah, let's go from right there. Da. So let's see if we can. Yeah, I always have a problem. I always say too much and then just subtract. See if you can find something there that gives you that, but gives you that as well.
So decrescendo before.
Or just lighten up a little so you have something there. Yeah. Yes. Great. Now this has forte espressivo. So this is again sort of like I don't know, the same note 3 times. It's like insistent and pleading. Maybe we can find a way to give some direction to that, even if it is all forte. Accent there. Yeah. Is that 2 accents? Yeah. So it's it goes largamente. Whatever it is from there, but you can keep it in tempo. Let's go from there. Expresivo. You want to do the pickup? Yes. Okay, go for it. Oh, let's just go from the pickup. Now crescendo. Yeah. So if you can listen for that, the piano basically accentuates a little bit, and I guess you don't have to do too much because you'll be helped, right? So da 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 da. Something like that. It doesn't have to be so explicit, but just be aware that you don't have to overdo it, but just be aware that there can be a stateliness to those accents. You could make them a bit more like cute, or but in either way you'll be supported. Okay, let's go one more time. So take your time. Oh, so less bow and speed it up towards the front. Yeah. Are you up there or low? Okay, great. So many swells like here, it's like it's always finding that line between like really exaggerating and also like doing things like that can be appreciated by an audience. As you probably know, even like when we talk, like probably like 75% of the information can be lost just in this nether space. Yeah, exactly. It's like being intentional with the musical idea and then trying to find and get feedback from teachers especially, but also like your peers to say, is this too much? I'd rather have a student say, is this too much? Rather than like the opposite, where it's sort of like you always have to encourage, to like just do more in the end. And more often than not, just like there's a dramaticism to music, especially music without lyrics and classical music, that really requires a certain degree of extroversion and flamboyant, over the top sort of like thinking that, at least in a piece like this, lends itself well. And then eventually, if you get to sort of more subtle pieces, if you're like working with like Debussy or you're working with like some of the Brahms, where it's like very like elegant and like you have these small nuances. You've already practiced this much in something like this, like as a playground, to like have a bit more control when you're not need to go from like 0 to 110, and maybe the range is like 1 to like the range is like 50 to 70, and you have to find like the nuance, like what is 76, what is 31, for instance, things of that nature. But I think you have such a great handle on the piece. Do you have a favorite part of the piece? I like the second repeated. Oh, okay. Let's hear that. Why not? How much time do we have?
Like 3 minutes.
3 minutes. Okay. Let's end on some beautiful music. Okay. So we're going to set the scene here. We are. Are we doing it the first time or the second time? Second time. Oh, right here. Okay. So We're going from H, and this is a little bit cadenza. Pesante. I'm a big wolf on this C sharp. I will not try to deal with that. But then we transition to this almost like angelic melody. So let's go from H. Some things that people should always focus on, vibrating every note. Can you just show what people did right there? Just listen to the amount of activity that's happening in the fingertips. Go ahead. Yeah. So, you know, a lot of the soul of the violin, of course, comes from the bow and how you use it. But then that sort of extra I don't know, 5-6% of it is just continual active engagement that happens within slurs, and especially with melodies. That's one of the things in violin playing in particular that we really have to pay attention to all the time, because we're trying to mostly imitate the voice, especially in moments like this. So the more that we can continue to have a continual engagement with the connections of the bow, the left hand, and then the continuation of engagement to the transition. That's going to create something that feels compelling every single note, and yet at the same time doesn't feel like it's just isolated incidences of like good stuff. It just becomes something that becomes so subconscious that people just have a good feeling of what they're hearing in the end, which is something that you did for us today. So thank you so much.